Established in 1919, you can count on Catlin.
You might want to buckle up, baby.
And now get ready for WTF.
You want to prove once for all that I'm better than you? Strap up.
Bring it on, Big Brother 10, man.
Whose take is first? Brought to you by TireOutlet.com. Wholesale prices, premium service.
All right, crank it up, Jacksonville. I'm hoping that WTF today is about the future of the New York Mets and second baseman Jeff McNeil, who hit an upper deck home run last night and also did something no Met player has done in 5 years, bunted a man to second base. It's a rarity these days in the game of baseball, but he was able to pull it off. But I don't think that's going to be the question. Nevertheless, we'll let Beef ask, and we'll exchange a couple sports concepts and rationalizations with you right now.
And always we encourage the Googans to jump in on the text line driven by Duval Ford, 641-1010. Give your takes, and we'll select one Guggen at random to get a delivery from Kuhn Flowers, floral delivery, and a free airport parking from usapark.net. The question, guys, now that we're in game prep mode for the preseason opener Thursday night, Jags yesterday unveiled their official first depth chart, and I guess the question is, did anything strike your eye, and where do you think they're at with the many position battles we thought we had going into training camp?
I guess if anything struck my eye is just how little real battles there are.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I've ever been in training camp where everything was as locked up as this. I mean, we could quibble over, like, receivers, you know. Well, I mean, really, you could quibble receivers one based on what Marquise Lee got. I guess he's the one. He doesn't play like a one, but we could argue for depth purposes between the 2 and the 5 receivers. I think that's kind of fluid. I mean, this linebacker battle sure seems like it's over. I mean, I don't, just based on what you see from playing time and assignments. And, the right guard battle, there never really apparently was one, because it's been A.J. Cann cemented in there. So that's what jumped out to me as a depth chart that we could have predicted, in February.
Yeah, I think that it's just a team that really needs to get to the starting line. I guess when your biggest discussion is who's going to win the 6th receiver spot, you pretty much know who's going to be on this football team. Now, things can change, and some guys can make the team. And, I mean, like, just for my eye, and I didn't even see where he was. Do you have the depth chart there, Beef?
I have it.
You have it?
Yeah. What you want?
I'm curious about the tight ends.
It's
because I think I thought O'Shaughnessy's been having a very good camp. I'm curious where he stands behind
ASJ, Koyak, and then Oshag Hennessy along with Niles Paul are listed as co-third string.
Yeah. So, and they'll keep a lot of tight ends.
O'Shaughnessy's caught some balls here too. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I think he's made some plays.
I mean,
lately. I don't think we've seen the best of him. But again, look who we're talking about here. So that tells you, where you are in terms of your football team. But there are some guys. Jadon Mickens is going to have to win the punt return job if he's going to make the team. And remember, I think 2 touchdowns last year.
It's basically Mickens versus Rashad Green.
Yes.
Right, that's it for the last receiver.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how you look at it.
One of those guys will be the punt returner.
Right.
He'll get that last receiver job.
Yeah, you would think that's how it would go.
It should be.
And Rashad Green, I think, has probably made more catches than Jadon Mickens in camp and mini camp and such, and has accumulated a little bit better body of work at the receiver position. But Jadon Mickens is a pretty good punt returner. So it's a good battle. It's hard. I mean, it's such a tough thing, man, because you go into camp together and you're rooting for each other, but ultimately it's a business and you've got to make the team. There's a lot at stake for these guys. There's a lot of cash money being thrown your way when you make an NFL club. So even if you are making the minimum, it's still, I don't know what the minimum is now, but $500,000-$600,000.
Oh yeah, the practice squad is a little over $100,000.
Yeah, practice squad's X amount of dollars per week, but I had a guy ask me. Actually, my friend John Bachman down at CBS 47 Fox 30, who's from up in the great state of Iowa, asked me about the young receiver who they gave a little extra money to, Alan Lazard.
Lazard, yeah.
And because a lot of he went to the same high school, and so he's getting a lot of, how's he doing? Is he going to make the team? And I said, well, I don't know. To me, the best case scenario, I haven't heard much about him, so he hasn't flashed. So there'll be a couple guys who we haven't talked about much who flash tomorrow night because they'll get a bunch of snaps and make some plays in a game. And then that always gets Thursday night, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
And then it always gets coaches wondering, maybe he's more of a gamer. Maybe he shows up under the lights. So then they'll take notice of that. But for a guy like Lazard, it looks like to me the best case scenario for him would be the practice squad because they paid him a little extra as an undrafted rookie free agent. It'd be the practice squad. But the problem with the practice squad, as you guys know, is if you go on a practice squad, you can be snatched away at any time. And then you're usually snatched away to fill in for an injured guy, and you get a guaranteed 3 weeks with said team on active roster. However, I think it's 3.
It is.
However, after that, then you're usually cut, and you go back to another practice squad because the practice squad you were on. So really, it's almost a better case is if you could hide out on a practice squad for a year and really improve as a football player to where you can make a team. It's a tough cycle, and sometimes it's a never-ending cycle for those guys. Those guys are interesting stories too because, I mean, you don't talk about doing it for the love of the game. It's nice to get a check, and you get that check and each week, but you might be starting Jacksonville, get plucked by the Arizona Cardinals, be on a jet out to Arizona last 3 weeks, get cut, join the Vikings practice squad, be there for 2 weeks, get cut, sit out for 3 weeks, get on Denver's practice squad. I mean, it's a bounce around nomadic existence.
Yeah, 480 this year. 480,000
is the minimum
for the year one, and then it jumps up to 555,000 for year two.
But in regards to the position battles, though, there's none. None that intrigue. I mean, we just went through a couple of. Doesn't matter who wins those jobs
right.
as far as the overall. Listen, this Jaguar football team a year ago's biggest advantage was that it didn't get injured on defensively. I mean,
right.
nothing. Dude.
Knock on that wood, baby.
So if this team stays healthy on defense, they're going to be awful good.
Yeah. So it's fun. I think we're in pretty good shape here as we get going. I saw an interview with Andrew Luck yesterday.
Colonel Andrew Luck,
the captain.
I'm sorry.
I almost have to turn down the sound. It's almost distracting the way the guy talks. Is he chewing on
just a
cud or
goofy
something
cat, man? I mean, I've always liked him as. Yeah, I'm just so happy to be. Yeah, I thought about it. I didn't think I'd ever play again at times. I really didn't sell Pal. He's got that neck hair. Why won't he trim the neck hair?
What's with the neck beard, man?
What is that?
I don't know.
Why don't we trim that up?
I don't know.
It's growing out every which way. He's got the goofy.
Maybe his voice is producing abnormal hair growth.
I don't know, but anyway, he's a heck of a quarterback. But
this just did.
I told you this in the break. I've watched him a lot of the highlights on the practice, and he's never letting it rip. Now, you had a good point. That just may be the warm-up session.
It's the only part you can video.
Right. So, and because by all accounts he's fine, and
well, they say he's playing tomorrow or Thursday.
Right.
So obviously can't throw like that. You can't throw this little soft tosses. That's the case. So.
Yes, but he also.
I think they'll ask him. Can we play a series with this wiffle football?
He also has sent, I don't want to use the Duke. I'd like to use a smaller football if you don't mind, but it'd be great. Thank you.
Those little souvenir footballs you used to get at high school games, those little plastic jobs.
Speaking of quarterbacks with not great beards,
I
have one. I just want your quick gut reaction to this.
Yeah.
And then we'll carry on.
Okay.
But ESPN put out a list of the top 50 players for college football 2018.
Okay.
College season's right around on deck, right?
Right.
In the top 5, number 1 is Ed Oliver, the big D tackle from Houston.
Sure.
Number 2 is Bryce Love, the running back from Stanford.
Okay.
And number 3, you've heard of this guy. He's a quarterback from West Virginia. His name's Will Grier.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, great. Sigh.
Yeah, that one's.
Is he trying to rub it in? Is that what he's doing?
No, I'm just trying to get gut reaction.
Went off the train tracks on that one. So, he's poised to have a great year, and he's going to have incredible stats because they throw the heck out of the football at West Virginia. So, we'll see what happens.
I don't feel like I'm not mad at anybody for that. That's just one of those things. Will Grier got popped. They didn't want to keep him around, and it ultimately McElwain. It was his undoing. I think McElwain took too much personal credit for what Will Grier was doing.
Will Grier, by the way, at the time
with my dog Clarabelle.
At the time was improving, but he wasn't
a
like
finished product.
Yeah.
I felt a lot more optimistic than you. Looking back, I thought he was the deal.
Yeah,
I liked him. So it was devastating. But I think the rest of Gator Nation also thought, well, gosh, McElwain has got this guy up and rolling this quick.
I think the point that Beef was making, though, is it would be nice if we had the number 3 player in the country on our roster getting ready. And he happened to play quarterback.
Especially after
the optimism then would be sky high.
Especially after Dan Mullen, yesterday said, my God, these guys sometimes look like they're 2-3 years away. Can I get a quick pop quiz music?
Dan,
I know we're up against it, but
good.
that's okay. Give me pop quiz music.
That's not good, Danny.
We're talking about the Gator quarterbacks.
Not good look, Coach.
I know you're a Gator fanatic. I'd like to consider yourself some sort of historian.
Thank you.
So if you could, please tell me the 12 starting quarterbacks since Tim Tebow left in 2010. 12.
Yeah.
There have been 12 starting
Brantley.
Yes.
Driscoll.
That's 2.
Brissett.
That's 3. I like so far he's going in order, ladies and gentlemen. Did we just play this game recently? You gave it to me or no?
I don't know. Del Rio, Appleby.
Yep.
Treon.
Yep.
Oh God.
You're missing 2,
It's
3,
a mishmash of
4, 5,
awfulness
6.
is
You're
what it
missing
is.
6, yeah.
Keep going down the list. I mean,
You've gone Brantley, Driscoll, Brissett, and then you went. Who'd you go? Treon, Del Rio, Appleby.
Yeah.
Well, Will Greer, I'll give you. We've already
Will
talked about
Greer,
that.
we just talked about our guy. Who was our guy last year? That guy. Horrible.
The double F.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, but I can't accept that guy last year. Because
You know
then
who
you could go.
he
Then
is.
you could go. Well, the guy in 2014.
Felipe.
I think you forgot Tyler Murphy.
Yeah.
Well, you got many more missing than that.
Did,
That's the point.
Did Trey Burton get a start? Or
Trey
Skylar,
Burton did, yeah.
Did Skylar Morningweg
he
get a
definitely
start?
Skylar
started.
Morningweg also got
Started
a start.
against South Carolina, I believe.
There's actually, I really.
Who started against Georgia Southern? Who threw that gem together?
I don't.
I can't
Treon,
remember.
probably?
Am I still missing some?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right.
Have you said? You said Brantley,
Yes.
Driscoll,
Yes.
Brissett,
Yes.
Burton.
Yes.
She went Murphy.
Yes.
Morningweg,
Yes.
Greer, Harris.
Yes.
Del Rio.
Yes.
Appleby.
Yes.
Franks. Yeah, you're missing one.
I'm missing one.
One guy.
Did
Real
Zaire
quick.
go start?
Yeah, Malik
Yeah,
Zaire.
he did. That's what I was going to say. After Franks got benched last year.
Yeah,
Oh.
he had a few starts actually. So
Oy.
there you go. That what a god awful list that is.
Who's who?
I almost thought Jordan Reed got a start at Vandy. I guess that was. Remember, didn't Jordan Reed throw a beautiful touchdown? Didn't he at Vandy? Everyone knows I guess he didn't start that game, but he played a lot of quarterback at
played.
Vandy one game.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
was the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
so-
must not have started.
All right. There you go.
That's great.
That's the first take.
By the
this
way, of
morning.
all those quarterbacks, the most touchdown passes in a season still is like 11 or 12 by Johnny Brantley.
That doesn't seem possible.
That's
Because
it.
Driscoll was better than that. Now he was hurt, but
Yeah.
all right. We returned.
I'm pretty
with,
sure.
more
Yeah.
fun.
Great.
and Good
Set
favor.
the table. That was a fun pop quiz.
Yeah. That's a lot of them.
Brought joy to me.
Yeah. Setting the mood. I mean, I figured that you
We're all
now
a bunch of hombres.
feed off that Gator negative, news and energy. This is the drill. Catlin Truck Accessories Tuesday.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
The Jacksonville